Have you ever boarded a plane, found your seat, and wondered why every passenger is facing the same direction? After all, trains often have seats that face each other, buses sometimes have sideways seating, and even some military aircraft have passengers sitting backward. So why do commercial airplanes almost always have forward-facing seats? Is it simply because passengers like looking ahead? Or is there a much more important reason hidden behind that familiar cabin layout? As it turns out, the direction your seat faces has very little to do with comfort and almost everything to do with safety engineering and decades of real-world testing. The answer involves physics, human anatomy, emergency regulations, and even the economics of modern air travel. So let's break it all down right here on History of Simple Things. The earliest passenger airplanes of the 1910s and 1920s were nothing like today's jetliners. They were small, noisy, and often converted from military aircraft. Passenger comfort wasn't a priority, and seating arrangements varied widely depending on the aircraft. As commercial aviation grew during the 1930s and 1940s, airlines began designing dedicated passenger cabins. Most adopted forward-facing rows because they resembled automobiles and railway coaches, making travelers feel more familiar and comfortable during a time when flying was still considered adventurous. The arrival of pressurized aircraft like the Douglas DC-6 and later the Boeing 707 ushered in the modern era of air travel. Aircraft became faster, carried more passengers, and safety standards became much stricter. Engineers and aviation regulators started studying how people move during crashes and emergency landings. Those studies eventually confirmed that forward-facing seats offered the best balance between passenger protection, cabin efficiency, and evacuation speed. The biggest reason airplane seats face forward is simple. They're designed to protect you during the most likely type of survivable accident. During an emergency landing or runway overrun, the airplane is usually still moving forward when it suddenly slows down. According to Newton's first law of motion, your body wants to keep moving at the same speed until something stops it. That something is your seatbelt. In a forward-facing seat, the lap belt holds your hips securely while the seat in front helps limit how far your upper body moves. Modern aircraft seats are carefully engineered to absorb some of the impact energy rather than transferring all of it directly to your body. This combination significantly reduces the risk of serious injuries in many survivable accidents. Interestingly, rear-facing seats are actually even better at handling sudden deceleration. When you're facing backward, your entire back presses into the seat during a crash instead of your body folding forward around the lap belt. The impact is spread across your back, shoulders, and head, reducing stress on your neck and spine. That's why many military transport aircraft use rear-facing seats. Some spacecraft, helicopters, and specialized aircraft also use them because they offer excellent crash protection. So why doesn't every airline use backward-facing seats? The answer comes down to practicality. Most passengers dislike sitting backward because it can increase motion sickness and simply feels unusual. Airlines also found that many travelers perceive rear-facing seats as less comfortable, even if they're statistically safer in certain crash scenarios. Since commercial aviation already has an outstanding safety record, regulators determined that properly engineered forward-facing seats provide more than enough protection while offering a better overall passenger experience. Forward-facing seats also make the airplane itself more efficient. Commercial aircraft are designed to fit as many passengers as possible while still allowing everyone to evacuate quickly if necessary. Straight rows facing one direction create predictable walking paths to the exits and make cabin service much easier for flight attendants. Imagine if every row faced a different direction or passengers sat sideways throughout the cabin. Boarding would become slower, luggage loading would be more chaotic, and emergency evacuations could become confusing. A consistent forward-facing layout keeps everything organized, from serving meals to directing passengers during an emergency. It also simplifies cabin design because overhead bins, tray tables, entertainment screens, and safety equipment can all be built around one standard seating arrangement. Many people think airplane seats are designed mainly for comfort, but they're actually critical pieces of safety equipment. Before a seat is approved for commercial use, it must pass extremely demanding crash tests. Manufacturers place crash test dummies into seats mounted on sleds that rapidly accelerate and stop to simulate emergency landings. Engineers measure the forces on the dummy's head, neck, chest, and legs to ensure they remain within strict safety limits. The seats are also designed to stay firmly attached to the floor during powerful impacts while absorbing enough energy to reduce injuries. Even the spacing between rows is carefully calculated. That's one reason passengers are instructed to adopt the brace position during an emergency. It helps your body work together with the seat to reduce the risk of injury. Are there any exceptions? Yes, but they're relatively rare. Some private jets have lounge-style seating where passengers sit facing each other around tables. However, these seats still have to meet strict certification requirements, and passengers usually need specialized seat belts for takeoff and landing. Certain business-class cabins also include seats that face backward. These are carefully engineered and certified to provide the same level of protection as forward-facing seats. So while forward-facing seating dominates commercial aviation, it's not the only safe option. It's simply the one that offers the best balance between safety, efficiency, passenger comfort, and airline operations. So why do airplane seats face forward? The answer isn't tradition. It's a carefully considered combination of science and engineering. Forward-facing seats work with seatbelts to protect passengers during the kinds of accidents that are most likely to be survivable. They allow efficient cabin layouts, simplify boarding and evacuations, improve passenger comfort, and meet strict international safety standards. So the next time you buckle up before takeoff, remember that your seat isn't just there to give you somewhere to sit. It's the product of decades of research, testing, and engineering, all designed to make one of the safest forms of transportation even safer. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.